It's so dumb. It's so dumb it's brilliant. No, just dumb. Glass Onion, a Knives Out Mysteries, a Netflix original written and directed by Rian Johnson, who did Looper, Star Wars Episode 8, which, among the most recent trilogy, was probably the most divisive among them. Holy goddamn shit, people were being run off of social media. Star Wars fanboys, fangirls, and fan whatever just basically decided to just keep railing and railing and railing and railing the goddamn cast for no goddamn reason, with a whole bunch of racism, sexism, and whatever. But this is not about the sexism among Star Wars fanboys and whatever and all those goddamn idiots that really can't call themselves fans of anything because they're goddamn pieces of shit. Rian Johnson also did Knives Out, which is, well, this is a sequel. I know, a bit shocking that something called Glass Onion, not Knives Out, a Glass Onion Mystery, would actually be a sequel to it. What? It's so goddamn mind-blowing. If that made any grammatical sense, I will be amazed. And this sees the return of Benoit Blanc, not Mel Blanc. We're gonna solve this mystery, varmint! I now need to see Yosemite Sam as a detective. I now demand to see it. I fucking demand to see it. I don't care if you have to resurrect Mel Blanc. I don't care what you have to do. Give me Yosemite Sam as a detective. But before that, let's talk about this movie. Daniel Craig returns as, Benoit Blanc, almost said Mel Blanc. Not to be confused with Chris Benoit, who had his own murder/mystery. It was a mystery for the first few hours. Let's get to the actual movie before this thing goes completely off the rails, even though it already did within the first few seconds. We have Edward Norton in this. We have Janelle Monáe, who is a terrific actress. Just don't watch Antebellum, because even though she tries, boy, Antebellum was really goddamn dog shit. Check out my review of that. I tore into it. And we have Catherine Hahn, Leslie Odom Jr., Kate Hudson, who I've never really been the biggest fan of, I'll admit, especially with the Skeleton Key, that I called the Skeleton Clunker. In fact, I'll be honest, I never wanted to watch a Kate Hudson movie again after that, and that wasn't even her fault. And Dave Bautista. I love Dave Bautista in pretty much any movie he's in. I haven't seen every single movie he's done, whether it's direct-to-video stuff. I still have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy. I've seen some clips of him just acting all silly and acting a fool, as it were, and then also that Army of the Dead movie, which he really tried in it. And the fact that he's in his mid-50s and is still able to have great comedic timing and still do some, great, just some pretty good acting. I'm not saying he's like an award-winning actor, but he's actually pretty good at the dramatic stuff as well. Soon, that Knock at the Cabin movie, the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, and Chang Shabab, how much money is this man getting for movies? Oh no, but Bautista has had quite a great body of work. And also we get Jessica Henwick, who was Bugs in the most recent Matrix movie that was not very good, but goodness me, she's very attractive. We also have Madeline Klein, who I haven't seen really in anything. We have just various other people. Hugh Grant is in this, for God's sakes. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has a cameo. Angela Lansbury, rest in peace, Angela Lansbury, has a brief cameo in this. And it continues the exploits of Benoit Blanc, who's out to solve a mystery before this whole thing is history. Blanc tales, woohoo! So if you enjoyed the first Knives Out as far as like a central focus on a particular group of people and trying to uncover all this stuff and all these murder mystery plots and everything and not get locked in the tower, but then they break loose in Nevemus and now you know the plot. The whole point is it's not Benoit Blanc maniacs. They, you know what, I don't know what the hell I'm on about anymore. I'm just having fun because I like this movie. It's a whole lot of fun. It's just as fun as the first Knives Out. I will say that this is fun in different ways. I still think the first Knives Out was a little more cohesive. I like this one a lot. I still say the first Knives Out in retrospect, now that I think about when I originally reviewed it, I maybe didn't praise it as much as I should have. This one is just about as good. It has a few falters. I think there were a couple points it was a little bit stretched out. In the first one, you had a couple characters that had a little bit of likability. Unfortunately, in this one, really, you only have a couple characters you could have any likability with. And I hate to say it, but Benoit Blanc actually ends up kind of being almost a supporting character here. I mean, he's almost like a background piece. Janelle Monáe ends up being pretty much the central focus here because she is trying to find out, she's trying to solve this mystery because something happened to her and she's trying to find out what exactly happened, to a particular important person in her life. I'm trying to keep it spoiler free, and Benoit Blanc is invited on this 3-hour tour, where Edward Norton's Miles Braun, not to be confused with Rex Braunsteiner. If you are a non-wrestling fan, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And he invites a bunch of friends that he's known for years and years and years to his private island with a whole bunch of fancy, crazy shit and everything. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt actually was a voice, a dong voice. Not the gong show, not the dong show, not ring ding dong, ring a ding 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 dong. Keep their heads ringing, as Dr. Dre once said. Bet you didn't think you were going to get a Dr. Dre reference in this review. And there's a lot of really good dialogue. I'm not going to get too much into the plot because actually I think the plot of the first one was a little bit better. This one was really, really good. I know it sounds like I'm a little bit down on it. I'm not. It's still a really, really goddamn great movie that you need to watch. It's really humorous and very well done. But there's some great witty lines. One is taking place during the pandemic. So, you got people via Zoom calls wearing masks if they're greeted by people and whatever. And various people are, there's this particular substance that is being talked about in this lab. And then smash cut to Batista doing a live stream, where he said, this has gotten out recently, and the answer, Jimmy Kimmel, no, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't hate boobs. Boobs have, give us many useful things. Boobs give us milk, cheese. Boobs nourish our young until we can actually go out and hunt for them. Let's be honest, boobs are fun. When you have Batista talking about boobs in the movie, you have something really, really good here. And Batista is just great. He's just great in this. People get a particular box. It's like a toy box thing where they're getting, it's like something you got to figure out. You got to unlock it. It's a stereogram, and it's got little games with it. And if you unlock this, you find that there's this little glass bloomin' onion, not from the Outback. Come on down for 1995. God, if anybody from Australia is watching this, I'm sorry. I am so, so sorry. God, that was a terrible accent. But they all get invited to this island, and basically, Miles Braun, Edward Norton says, you are here because you are going to solve the mystery of my death. So it's basically Clue and Murder by Death and just the first Knives Out. But no Ana de Armas in this movie. More in the pity. Any movie with Ana de Armas is instantly better, unless it's Deep Water. How they wasted her talents in that, I don't know. But it was great to see Angela Lansbury in a brief cameo. And rest in peace, Angela Lansbury. Still love, Murder, She Wrote, the goddamn theme stuck in my head. Along with the Scarecrow Mrs. King theme. So nevertheless, 13 minutes in, we finally get the title, and then we find out, various things going on. It seems like Janelle Monáe's Andy is very, very standoffish. And from the people, and it turns out that there was a particular plot where she was kind of ousted from the group, but she's invited, and what the hell's going on? And suddenly, some event happens about halfway through, and then things really start to unravel, and you get to find out that some of these people really aren't all that great. They're superficial social media influencers, or people who work in a lab, or, who design clothes, or are running for politics. Various people cherry-picked and everything, in particular cliches. And you get to find out that really nobody is perfect. And yeah, that's kind of the whole thing with murder mysteries. That way you have a lot of suspects, but you don't really have people to root for in this. There are a couple particular scumbags, but there are a couple heroes in this. But again, Benoit Blanc almost seems to just take a back seat, and that's a bit surprising. Because Daniel Craig's actually really, really good. He's a solid actor. Very solid. And I'm talking outside the Bond movies. Maybe ignore The Dream House. That one wasn't very good. But then, I will say, beautiful island scenery and a lot of really, really good stuff. And they put a lot of money into this. And Edward Norton, clear sleazeball, having a blast. Apparently that's actually close to true to life for Edward Norton, but I digress. And who actually could want to kill Miles Braun? Who could want to commit such atrocities? And we find out as things go on, okay, maybe the suspect we thought wasn't actually the suspect after all. Maybe they're going to make it after all. I don't have a hat to throw up. Because I don't eat hats, and also that would be very stupid, and I'm not Mary Tyler Moore. I know, bit shocking, because we almost have the same hair. But after a particular event in the beginning, or in halfway through the movie, then things kick up. It does take a little bit to get going. I will say that, again, the first one had a little more cohesion and a little more central focus. It felt a little more organic. At times, this one felt a teeny bit forced, a teeny bit. And I know that's going to sound a little bit weird. I'm not saying it doesn't capture the same magic, but it captures most of it. Maybe not all of it, but enough to where it is absolutely worth watching. And then we find out about particular things that lead to the eventual climax, giggity, and there you go. So I'm going to get into spoilers here, but it's absolutely worth checking out if you love the first Knives Out. So it's on Netflix. Obviously, you would need a Netflix account to watch it, but it's worth it. It was in theaters for about a week, but it was too far away. It was like in North Seattle, and if anybody knows anything about North Seattle, fuck North Seattle. Nobody likes North Seattle. If you think you do, you're wrong. Anyway, I'm going to get into spoilers. So 3, 2, 1. Really good cast in this. Spoilers. Okay. So Miles Braun has this fortress of solitude, essentially, where all of his friends are invited. And this particular compound that I talked about in the beginning that was created in this lab is a hydrogen-type fuel that's going to fund everything. It's going to fuel everything. It's going to be put to market. Houses can run on it. It can be clean burning fuel. And also, if you're not careful, it could turn your house and everything into a Hindenburg. Oh, the humanity. Oh, the Japanity. Anybody remembers that MST3K episode, please let me know. Anyway, it really does end up kicking up into gear when Dave Bautista's character unfortunately passes away, because after an initial red herring of Miles Braun's character being, he's going to solve his mystery, the mystery of his death, or he wants him to do that, Benoit Blanc, varmint, solves the mystery instantly. Says, oh, this is what's going to happen. They were going to do this because this crossbow was aimed at you, and boom, it does that, and then he's like, well, shit, you figured that out. Why the hell are you here? Why is Benoit Blanc here? We find that out a little bit later on. And the whole glass onion thing, by the way, is because of this giant glass, apparatus that's like at the top, like the Fortress of Solitude. For only $19.95. God, seriously, Australians are going to hate me. And then, as things go on, Dave Bautista's character is allergic to pineapple juice. He ends up dying because he ingests a drink with pineapple juice in it. Well, nobody knows that yet. He dies, and what the hell's going on? We then flash back to when we find out about Benoit Blanc being visited by Janelle Monáe. It turns out that actually the person playing Andy here is actually Helen, the twin sister, because Andy was part of the group, got ousted because she created this original idea for this big old media, this big old multimedia scientific conglomerate thingy on a napkin from this bar called the Glass Onion that got torn down. But Miles decided to take the idea because he's a piece of shit and tries to use big flowery language that he doesn't really understand and everything. And then what ends up happening is Andy finds that, she's all torn up and everything. Even though she has money, he took over the company, and now she basically is feeling the sting. Or she's like that Metro movie, the Metro advertisements that Eddie Murphy is in when they feel the heat. Anybody who remembers those advertisements, you have deep cut fun like I do. That didn't make any sense. Don't deep cut yourself. Seek help. Help is out there. So what ends up happening is Andy finds this particular envelope where this napkin was, she wrote out the shit on a napkin with the glass onion, stencil on there. And since the bar got shut down, obviously if Miles tried to claim that anything he wrote down on a napkin was true, even though people vouch for him, there's the evidence. Well, then Andy ends up dead. She ends up dead somehow. How would she end up dead? Because nobody else would have a reason to kill her. She sent out this email to everybody. They tried to go seek her out at her house. And meanwhile, we're finding out Benoit Blanc was talked to by Helen. He proposes, pretend to be your sister. Let's go figure this out. And just before this, we find out that she got shot. Well, shit, now she's dead, but let's find out about all this stuff. And now we need to find out this mystery. Oh, she's fine. She's fine. Because her sister's diary book, something or other, ended up blocking the bullet. They must have been made out of goddamn titanium as it were. Gross. And who could possibly be doing the killing? Well, Duke's dead. That's Dave Bautista's character. And who is his most Dave Bautista? Just swimming around a Speedo and running around and just having fun. Being a blast. God, Bautista seems like he'd be a blast to hang out with. Anyway, nevertheless. Who is it? It's Miles Braun. Why is he doing this? Because he didn't want his whole empire to be exposed and everything, and he wants to put this fuel out to the world, and he's holding the sword of Damocles over everybody's head. Don't know why I said it like that. Help me, help me, help me, Spock, help me, or you guys will be taken down. Your social media empires, your sweatshops where you design your cheap pants, and the name, and as far as Kate Hudson's character goes, Jessica Hamwick, by the way, goddamn, she looks great. And everybody's just got a reason to basically lie, and it proves that there are no real good people here. Well, what ends up happening is all of this ends up being a setup to draw Miles out, and they find the napkin in the envelope, but then Miles ends up burning it after they reveal all this stuff, and people are like, oh, well, we can't really do anything. And then Janelle Monáe's character just finally says, well, I've had it. Boom, I'm just going to break all these glass fixtures. All these glass fixtures. Boom, 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 boom. Then other people start breaking them. And it's a bunch of, like, rich people things. And there's also the Mona Lisa there that Miles, that got for a certain amount of money just so it could be all fancy. And he has this weird locking mechanism. So if anything tries to damage it, he just has to hit a button, and it's protected by apparently bulletproof glass. So more on that in a little bit. After all this glass gets broken, finally other people are breaking. He's like, oh, bravo, what are you going to do now? And then she says, hey, wait a second, I'm just going to set this on fire. Why am I going to set this on fire? Because Blanc said, well, I can't really do anything, but here's this. It's a piece of that hydrogen fuel. She throws it in there, and it sets everything on fire. Just destroys it because it's like the hydrogen bomb. It's like the Hindenburg. And then the Mona Lisa, wait a second. The Mona Lisa's safe, and he can get his money back even though all this stuff's destroyed. Until she hits the switch, and then the Mona Lisa burns. And then he's like, oh, you haven't done anything. You haven't proved anything. I burned the evidence. And she's like, your new fuel that you want to bring to market, just burn the Mona Lisa, asshole. There's a lot of really good stuff here. There's a lot of really good stuff that I didn't even get a chance to cover because I didn't want the review to take forever. But this was a whole lot of fun. We're probably going to get a Knives Out 3. I don't know if we should continue to do these. And by we, I mean Hollywood. Because I don't keep trying to find the magic. Because eventually it does run out. Leave while you're ahead. I'm down for a third round as long as they have the good cast. But considering what the first one came out in 2019. This one came out 3 years later. I mean, really, what else are we going to end up doing? I mean, I guess Daniel Craig could go for one more round, 2 more rounds. And also Hugh Grant, I assume, was playing his either live-in butler or possibly his lover, because I believe they confirmed Benoit Blanc is gay. Nothing wrong with being gay. Be gay, be whoever you are, as long as you're your true self. As long as you're your true self and not breaking the law. Breaking the law, breaking the law. A+. I'm giving it an A+, because hugely entertaining, very fun, even if it doesn't quite initially or at all reach the heights of the first one in retrospect, which I probably should have graded as an A+. This ends up being tremendously entertaining, and even with all the faults, which aren't many, these are all the praiseworthy moments. So A+. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.